I'm happy to be here tonight, even though it's online via Zoom, but I'm happy to see that this is something that's being done to give back to the students at MC. I really appreciate you having reached out to me, and it's great that I can also help with giving back to the community college that really helped pave the way for me. So tonight's plan, based on what me and Ms. Rizavi spoke about, is to basically hopefully provide you guys all with as much information and insight about what it's like being a real estate agent or a real estate salesperson, licensed professional. And I am licensed in the District of Columbia and Maryland, so I'll speak on that experience. The agenda for tonight, I guess, for this series, I've broken it down into basically 3 parts that I want to focus on. And of course, I'll extend on each part. But first part will be basically how I got started in real estate, basically what caused me or what enticed me to become a realtor, how to become a realtor, and lastly, what are the benefits and challenges of being a realtor. So first off, I'd like to tell you all a little bit more about my background. Again, my name is Jackelyn Flores. I am a proud dog mom, as you all can see, to my dog Luna, who is a Doberman Labrador Rottweiler mix. When I heard that was her mix, that's what she was mixed with, I really thought I was gonna get a big dog. She turned out to be pretty medium, so that's all right. In addition to that, my family is from El Salvador, so I do speak Spanish. So bienvenidos a todos, any of my fellow Spanish-speaking audience. And I am a self-improvement lover, so that means reading new books, learning about meditation, exploring new places, and all that kind of stuff. And a little bit more, I started at Montgomery College back in the fall of 2015, right after I graduated from high school. Right off the bat, I knew that I wanted to study business. So once the semester began, I started looking for all types of leadership programs, extracurricular programs that I could join, and even programs like the Latino Student Union. I was overall just trying to immerse myself as much as I could while I was in college, because I figured I know that my goal is to eventually get into the business world. So I want to get out of it the most that I could. And amongst all that searching is how I also came across the Hillman Entrepreneurs Scholarship Program, which is now the Southern Management Leadership Program. I enjoyed it all. And honestly, the word entrepreneurship in the name of the program, that alone is what caught my eye. And I really am grateful and happy that I decided to join the program, that I was given the privilege to be a part of the cohort. Hillman really equipped us to best prepare for our future careers. And I'm grateful that it was part of the building blocks for each of us to eventually build what would be our careers and our lives after college. They provided us with a good spine. We had community events. We did different things like packing lunches and weekly Friday classes where we all were always together, and always learning about technology entrepreneurship and all things innovation. A lot of resources, support, long-lasting friendships to this day, like we were saying earlier. Social media really helps you always stay in contact with everyone. So that's great that though this was to help us build our careers, we also got way more out of it than we probably ever expected, and a lot of opportunities. For example, I was able through Ms. Rizavi to do an internship with the Maryland Women's Business Center. I was super dang proud about that because, I mean, the name itself, Maryland Women's Business Center, just screams women who want to be in business and helping them out. Overall, but I really always knew I wanted to be in the business field because my father has had his own business for 15 years now. So I grew up all throughout high school, college, knowing that I also wanted to be my own boss. At the moment, I wasn't sure how exactly I would do it, but something inside of me told me, Jackelyn, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. And while being in college as a full-time student, I was also working at my family's business, and I did that internship with the Maryland Women's Business Center that I mentioned. So all throughout college, though I didn't probably know yet exactly where I would end up, I was definitely preparing myself to step into the business world. And when I transferred to UMD and I majored in marketing and management with that minor in technology entrepreneurship, after I accomplished all that, I'll be completely honest with you guys, I really thought I'd end up working at a big corporate firm, maybe doing some consulting or something like that. But God had other plans. Life unraveled a little differently, and I'm now a realtor with Long and Foster in the Bethesda office. The way things happened, they happened exactly how it was meant to happen. Never in a million years had I ever thought that I'd become a realtor. And honestly, I used to say, oh, I would never do sales. I would never be in such a people-focused, people-oriented business. But very ironically, here I am. Your character matters a lot when you are a realtor, because again, literally it's a people business. Okay. All right. So we'll keep moving on. Okay. So what made me start? I'll tell you guys basically what made me want to become a realtor, what basically caused me to get to the point where I said, okay, I'm going to apply for my license and become a realtor. So I have basically 5 bullet points-ish right here, which is number 1, I will give all credit to TikTok. TikTok is where I basically started learning a lot about investing, building generational wealth, appreciating assets, and the For You page was basically very much speaking to me, and the algorithm was just showing things that basically the common denominator was real estate. So I will credit TikTok for being the social media platform that basically ignited that started that interest in becoming a realtor. Secondly, I feel like I've always, again, also due to my father having his own business, I feel like I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. So knowing that I can take advantage of that creativity, being my own boss, managing my own my schedule, working with people, being accountable, autonomy, all of that, that also is what made me have the desire to become a realtor. Also, given that I majored in both marketing and management, I can easily use what I learned, what I majored in, what I went to school for in my career. So marketing, being a realtor is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to hone in on your creativity. And also management, it's all management. It's all administrating your clients, your time, your transactions, and just basically the whole process of buying a home or selling a home. Another kind of a thing that also made me very interested in becoming a realtor was I watched a lot of Selling Sunset and a lot of home decor TV shows. I love to spend on home decor. I'm not really much of a shoes and purse kind of gal. I'm more of a I love home decor person. So when I realized that looking at all these homes, doing showings, and looking at all the ways that the homes were staged would give me the in on seeing all of this, I was like, very much convincing. And lastly, the desire to help people achieve their biggest goal. We often hear about what is the American dream, and a lot of people know that becoming a homeowner is part of that American dream. So to be able to help my community achieve that is honestly very fulfilling. The way that you really are a trusted advisor for these people to achieve what is for most people such a big accomplishment, because all in all, it's basically one of the biggest assets you can acquire. I've now been a realtor for just over a year, and it's honestly been a very eye-opening and exciting, very roller coaster of an adventure. I don't regret it, and I would never look back. I honestly feel very passionate about what I do, and I've gotten out of it a lot more than I ever expected. The market I primarily focus on is, or are Prince George's County and Montgomery County. The cities and neighborhoods that are within these counties are where I'm most familiar with. It's where I go shopping, I've gone to school, I've lived in, I've explored. So basically, based on my comfort level, that's how I've chosen to focus on these areas. And also, because I've lived in these areas, I've gone to school in these areas, my personal network, when they reach out to me about the desire to buy a home or get started with selling their home or just kind of want to learn about real estate, just like me, they lived and went to school in these areas. So it's almost like natural that I would also be doing showings and driving around these neighborhoods and cities. But that's not to say that I'm not open to exploring new areas, because I definitely am. Definitely. If anything, there are a lot of times when sometimes, for example, let's say I'm very familiar with the area of Rockville campus of Montgomery College. But then a client told me or asked me to show them a home in this specific block. And honestly, the wow factor when I'm just like, what? This beautiful home was really only 2 blocks behind this area that I usually drive by. So all of that is like really, really nice. And it's always like, you're always going to be wowed. You're always going to be surprised. You're always going to be exploring new things. And honestly, I don't think you can ever say that being in real estate will ever be boring. Okay. And so the office I'm in, which is in Bethesda, we are an office of over 200 agents, which we will actually be going on a celebratory trip next month, mid-October. And this will be my second time joining them, because since I've been in the office, as an office, we've been able to sell over $1 billion in volume. And there are several offices within the Long and Foster company. It is a company that's established through the Mid-Atlantic region, but the office that I'm in is the second largest in the entire Long and Foster company. And given that we have 200 agents, we were able to, again, for the second time, or I believe, I want to say, but this is probably the third or second time in a row that we've been able to sell over $1 billion in sales volume. So that's just a little bit of a brag right there about what my office does. Also, I know some people may worry about, like, for example, one of my worries when I decided to become a realtor was I don't know anyone else that is a realtor. I don't come from a family of realtors or any passed down generational tips and tricks. So honestly, I was a little worried about how will I do this? However, being in Long and Foster, they provide so many resources, so much training, so much coaching that honestly, there's no way you can't become successful. We have mentors and coaches, brokers that are always available to help you walk through different scenarios, because honestly, every transaction can be different. Yes, ultimately, you are just selling a home, and that's always the end goal. But each person's motives are different. Some people, one of your clients may be looking to sell because they're getting relocated to another state. So they may be on a tight timeline. Or another family may just need more space in their home, or they may want to just buy another home to rent their first one and live in the new one. So there's a lot of reasons why people may be looking to sell or buy. And you have to be able to cater to that and be able to adapt to each person's style of communicating, style of their urgency, their timeline, their situations, the whole background. In addition to that, every week our office has sales meetings where we discuss what is going on in the market, what are the news and trends about where we see mortgage interest rates going. Right now, the Fed, inflation, all of that has caused a lot of ruckus. So that's something that we speak about weekly so that we make sure that our clients feel at ease and we are also informed when our clients come to us with concerns and questions. We also learn a lot about how the markets are changing within the different neighborhoods or cities, because you can always have a big a 3,000-foot view and look at a whole county, or you can also see very specifically to a neighborhood or to a zip code, because you'll be surprised that some neighborhoods have luxury homes and that may still be very competitive, whereas this neighborhood, where it's more so a first-time home buyer kind of neighborhood, that might be experiencing different market conditions. Yeah, and a lot of the other things. So this slide right here just kind of goes over a lot of the market trends, the conditions that I was speaking about. Again, what we discuss, or what helps us realtors equip ourselves and really become informative and knowledgeable about everything that we do. Because as a realtor, you have to know your market. You have to be informed and you have to be learning every single day, because honestly, the market can literally change by the day, possibly even by the hour. And so this is an example of some of the resources that Long & Foster provides us with. To the left, with the more of the red, this would be the market leader report, which is basically telling us what brokerage is leading with in terms of market share, and that's either a county, a neighborhood, a zip code, just kind of seeing like who's the leading company that's selling the most. To your right, we have the market minute. And the market minute basically is also resources that Long & Foster provides us with that we can present our sellers and our buyers with to kind of inform them of what exactly is going on in the market. And that kind of goes over information such as how much active inventory is there? What is the average sales price in that area? How many units are being sold? And how long are properties staying on the market? How many days? For example, earlier this year, we were in a crazy hot sellers market, because honestly, if a seller had their home listed on the market, you can almost bet yourself that they're receiving about 10, 20 plus offers. I've seen cases where people are even offering $50K over asking price. And this is all because of low inventory and such high demand. But now things have started to kind of balance out, and we're starting to see properties sitting on the market a little longer and some price adjustments. But again, that all has to do with the market conditions, and the main thing being interest rates. Okay. The next slide is just another example of resources that the association, the multiple listing service, which is where we see what houses are listed on the market, also provides us with further market condition reports. For example, the home demand index just speaks about what does the showing activity look like? Are people still going out to visit properties? Has it slowed down? Has it increased? And what does the buyer demand look like? Has it slowed down in this neighborhood, or is it still pretty hot in this neighborhood? And other examples of other reports are just the market performance reports, industry watch, and much more. We'll stay on this slide and I'll just continue speaking. So we also have a lot of other classes. Specifically, we have weekly contracts classes where we discuss the different forms that are used in a real estate transaction. Ultimately, we are making sure we are informed and knowledgeable about what each paragraph and form means. What do we need to be aware of? What do we need to really keep an eye on? And what it all means for our clients? Because all in all, a real estate transaction is a legal and enforceable contract. There are also many other resources that Long & Foster offers that have helped me continuously grow my real estate business. They offer group coaching, individual coaching, weekly specialty classes. For example, if you want to learn how to handle objections, how to implement a CRM system, how to start blogging, or how to even leverage your network, and so much more. So back to my point earlier, you have a hell of a toolbox. So if you want to become successful, you definitely do have that possibility. But again, that does also depend on your willingness to become successful, to put in the work, and also how much you study when you are tasked with the responsibility of choosing a brokerage, because not every brokerage is the same. Some brokerages may offer different trainings, may offer different resources, but I can only speak on what is my experience with Long and Foster so far. So definitely, apart from the resources that Long and Foster, the vast amount of resources that they offer, I'd like to give you guys all a little bit of insight into what the daily action and magic looks like. No single day is the same as another. Basically, every day is different. However, since this is ultimately a business, I do intend to grow it to its full potential. And I personally do have daily, what I call my daily non-negotiables, my daily lead generation activities. Because though it can get crazy, you don't have your normal 9 to 5. You don't get to just clock out. Sometimes you do have to answer the phone at 8 p.m. Sometimes you have to stay up all night, kind of working on a contract with your clients. But fair warning, I don't mind this. When you love what you do, it does not really feel like work. Yes, you do definitely have to learn how to manage your time. And that's basically what I want to emphasize. No single day looks like another. Every day is different, but it's important to note that it's also important for you to always have the daily non-negotiables, like I mentioned. Also, every realtor is different. Each realtor has their own sets of strengths and weaknesses. So how each chooses to run their business, grow, and get clients will be different. But in my case, I think it's important to always break down my day into 2 big sections. And then those big sections obviously have their own little subparts. For example, when you're structuring your day and structuring how you want to go about growing your business, you've definitely got to decide how much time do you want to dedicate to your business? How much do you want to invest into your business? So a lot of times we know the normal 9 to 5, we know that that's typically 40 hours. And we also know that with being a realtor, you do have the flexibility. So it's up to you whether you will decide, okay, I'll dedicate to my real estate business just 20 hours, 30 hours, 40 hours, 50, 60 hours, up to you. But once you sit down and really structure how you want to do it, don't just plan, you've also got to execute. So in my case, I am a full-time realtor because I know everyone's situation is different, but in my case, I know that me being a full-time realtor is what will help me go all in and reach my full potential. I was doing it part-time at the very beginning, but now I've transitioned to just doing it full-time because I want to see all that I can gain from being a realtor. And honestly, there's not a day I don't work. Weekends, I do also have to work. But being that I'm in meeting new people, seeing new properties, it's work that I don't mind and I enjoy it. So it almost doesn't feel like, oh, I have to be here till 40 more minutes or something like that. It does not feel like that at all. However, on Monday through Friday, I like to definitely structure my day, and weekends are just a little more showings, contracts, a little more free reign. For example, on Monday through Friday, I like to dedicate my first half of the day to my lead generating activities. For every realtor, that may look different. There are many ways to market yourself, but examples of marketing yourself can be door knocking, having referral business, sending out postcards, sending out handwritten notes. A lot of people don't like to do that. And it can be so easy. You just break it down. If you say you want to write 100 handwritten notes, just break it down. I want to accomplish it by this many days. So I'll do this many per day and stuff like that. Just honestly break it down. I really want to emphasize, don't look at the whole staircase, just focus on the first step, and that'll help you eventually get to the top. Moving on. Also letters, maybe to absentee owners or to your network, doing cold calling, social media, hosting open houses, or even just handing out business cards, whether that's outside of Whole Foods or whenever you kind of just are at the grocery store and you say hello to someone and the conversation about you're a realtor just comes up. If you're a realtor, literally always have business cards on you. And if you don't have business cards on you, you better have downloaded an app where you can just share your QR code with someone, because you never know where you will find business. But overall, like I said, each realtor has their own different sets of strengths and weaknesses. So each person is responsible for figuring out what works best for them. The second half of my day, I dedicate to so many other activities, and that's the time where I allow my activities to run a little bit more free-handedly, depending on what the situation of my clients is. So for example, that can look like me being on the MLS, which is where the properties are listed, and looking for properties that may be good for my clients to buy. That can include me previewing homes, making sure that I know what the inventory looks like in the neighborhoods around me, the neighborhoods that I'm usually at. That can be networking, happy hours, making sure the title company and the lender are on track for us to get to closing on time, making sure deadlines are met, doing showings, which is obviously a big part of being a realtor. You have to show homes, exploring new neighborhoods, scheduling homeownership consultations, meeting new customers for coffee, scouting open houses, doing home inspections, and just so much more. Because overall, even in that time, sometimes you just have to realize that as a realtor, you wear many hats. I mentioned a lot of the things that I do on when I'm handling with my clients. That can also include being a professional negotiator, whether that means you're trying to look for the best conditions for the best terms for your clients, making sure that they're not overpaying, making sure that contingencies are fair and that deadlines are met. Sometimes you have to be a marriage counselor as well, because the husband wants a big backyard and a huge driveway, but the wife just wants a huge kitchen, and they can't come to a meeting of the minds, and you have to kind of help people align to what it is that they really want and help them get on the same page. And a lot of that, it's like I mentioned, the second half is more free reign, but all of it I enjoy. I really enjoy. For example, I'm always looking to grow my business and looking to provide the best service, the best experience that I can to my clients, which is also why I'm going to a 3-day coaching next week in Annapolis, because when the opportunities are there, you got to take it, because ultimately you'll just become a better realtor for your clients. And that's kind of just a gist of what a day in the life of a realtor can look like. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to put that one. But now we'll speak about how to become a realtor. There are many different resources that you can use, or schools, real estate schools that you can reach out to. I can tell you guys about how I did it, what school I used, which was the CE Shop. I did it completely online. So for those that like the flexibility of kind of doing things at your pace, I would definitely recommend the CE Shop. However, there are also in-person classes with other real estate schools. If you want to learn more about that, I would recommend definitely reaching out either to me. Google is also very helpful and has many resources. But overall, if you have any questions, I can help kind of guide you in the right direction. To become a realtor, it's pretty simple. It's just 5 overall steps. Number 1 being you've got to complete your pre-licensing education. And full disclaimer, getting your license to become a realtor is the easiest part about being a realtor. What comes after it is where the grunt work comes in. So just that full disclaimer right there. And you've really only got to, it's a 60-hour course, so it doesn't even take that long. If you dedicate maybe 10, 15, or 20 hours per week, you can probably finish it within less than a month or about a month. For me, it cost me only about $300, $300 or so. I've seen the courses, for example, on the CE shop. They range anywhere from around $200 to $400. I spent about $300, but the course that I bought, or the package that I bought, also included what is called the Exam Prep Edge, which is a program for you to use to study for the exam. I highly recommend it because it's jam-packed with practice exams. My trick was taking non-stop practice exams, and I still use it because I've used it when I've taken the Maryland exam, the DC exam, and this is exactly what I'm doing at the moment, actually right after this, because I will also be taking my exam for the Virginia license pretty soon as well. After you finish your pre-licensing education, you have to take the course final exam, the CE shop final exam. After you pass that, you have to take the Maryland real estate salesperson exam, and that is in person at a testing center. Whereas the CE shop exam is just online, but a proctor does have to watch you through video. And for both of these, I can't say off the bat, don't quote me, but I believe it's either a 70 or 80% minimum passing score. So it's not all that bad. You don't have to get 100% to pass, or even a 90. But I would definitely recommend try those practice exams nonstop until the day or the moment right before taking your exam. Fourth part is you have to choose your sponsoring brokerage. For example, me, I chose Long & Foster. I did interview with a couple brokerages, and that was with Sampson Properties, Exit Results Realty, and Long & Foster. Those were the three that I interviewed at. A tip, as much as they are interviewing you to get to know you, you are also interviewing them because you want to know what can they provide you as a broker, what resources, what is the company culture like, those kinds of things. You want to make sure that you are joining a brokerage that you feel comfortable, where you see the possibility of growing. And then lastly, after you've completed your exams, chosen your broker, you will lastly apply for your license online for Maryland, through the Maryland Department of Labor, Licensing and Regulations. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But if you'd like, I can also share the link to the CE shop where it kind of goes a little bit more in detail about how to exactly get your license. Moving on. So now I'd like to speak a little bit more about what are the benefits and challenges of being a realtor. The challenges, I will say, are also the benefits, because what is initially a challenge, once you overcome it and you've acquired that skill, that's an extra tool that you have in your back pocket. Benefits, I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of uncapped income potential. You don't have to worry about a salary. You can make as much money as you want, as long as you are putting as much effort as you want, as much work as you want. You also have the ability to have a flexible schedule, work from home. I'm sure a lot of us would like to do that. You get to explore new cities and neighborhoods. You are your own boss. However, that does require a lot of accountability and discipline. And you also meet new people and you help people achieve their dreams. Challenges, I'm sorry, I didn't make a slide for this one. I forgot that one. But challenges, I will say some of the challenges, they're not impossible to overcome, but they can be challenges at the beginning that you, with time, master. Some of the initial challenges may be longer hours. You don't have a 9 to 5. You can essentially clock in when you want. However, you never know how your day is going to go with your clients. Maybe something came up with a transaction and you can't just turn your phone off at 5. You have to keep staying on the phone until late hours. Time management will probably be a challenge at the beginning because you have to make sure that you're getting your weekly office meetings in, contracts classes, monthly training, your daily lead generation activities, getting all your admin work done as well. And you have to be able to manage, when am I going to do showings? When am I available for previewing homes? And when am I doing open houses? Another challenge may be slower periods, because transactions are not guaranteed. You have to, in the beginning, you have to be constantly putting in the work to get business. So you may have a period of time where you really have to be smart about your money and have something saved up to serve as a cushion when you do experience those slower periods. You're also forced to adapt to different personalities, because success comes from being able to adapt to how different every person is. And you have to be very, very patient. You have to be willing to do this for the long run. Don't do it for short-term success. Do it because you actually want to grow something that'll be bigger than you. And you also have to have thick skin, because you will face a lot of rejection. And that's okay, because not everyone will want to work with you. Not everyone is for you. But trust me, as long as you do the work, you do the marketing, you will find business, you will be busy, and you will become successful. But overall, what it takes to become a successful realtor is honestly just your willingness to put in the work, willingness to bet on yourself, have confidence in yourself, be able to motivate yourself. You don't have a boss, you don't have a supervisor, you don't have the president, the vice president. You are your own boss. So you have to be your own hype man and make sure you push yourself to do the work. You have to be disciplined, patient, like I mentioned, adaptable, determined, and just ultimately have a growth mindset. And I guess my secret sauce to marketing as well would be social media marketing. What social media marketing platforms are you guys all using? I'm pretty sure you guys are all using maybe Instagram, TikTok. I don't know about Snapchat anymore that much, but definitely Facebook, LinkedIn. You guys are probably all on that. So just as you guys are all on that, you know that as a realtor, you got to get on the train as well, and you got to be on there. You got to make yourself be seen. So I want to show you guys a little bit about what I've done with social media, and this will be just on Instagram, but I am also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. But just an example right here will showcase my Instagram. Can you guys see the website?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is my website. And for example, I do focus a lot on making posts kind of like these, where there are informative pictures like this. Of course, I had to promote this event. And kind of informational stuff about what you need to know, maybe about HOAs. So definitely use social media to your advantage. Have fun with it. It's really simple. All I use is natural sunlight. Yes, I have a ring light, but I'll be honest with you guys, I don't always use it. Maybe a tripod, but honestly, you can stand up your phone anywhere. And confidence. Remember that don't be scared of people judging you or what they may say, because in the end, you're the one who is bold enough and brave enough to get in front of a camera and do these trends and speak to people. They're not. So kind of do what you have to do and be bold about everything that you do and believe in yourself and have the confidence.